For this project, I'm using pre-baked gingerbread house panels from Global Belly. The scallops on the roof of this house were perfect for my mermaid theme. I filled in each one with pink flood consistency royal icing. Once you've iced all of the scallops on both of the roof panels, you can set them aside to dry. The rest of the panels will be iced with purple and blue flood consistency icing. I'll blend the purple and the blue together, so I'm leaving a little bit of space for the blue on each section of the panel. I'm using an offset tapered spatula to blend the colors together where they meet. And then you'll repeat that until all of the panels are covered. Now I'm using that same icing to pipe coral on a piece of wax paper. They're super fragile, so you do want to make extras in case they break. I'm using white flood consistency icing to make some starfish, and these will go on the doors of the house. I'm piping the shells with stiff consistency icing, and then I'm using a brush to shape the bottom. Set everything aside to dry overnight. For this next section, I'll be using an edible ink marker and a mermaid scale stencil. This is blue pearl luster dust from the sugar art, and I'm applying it to the icing with a dry brush. To add a glowing effect to the windows, I'm painting it with yellow and orange gel food coloring. I'm covering the whole window with yellow first, and then I'll use orange around the edges. The orange should be concentrated around the outside, and then it should fade as it goes in toward the center. This is the same teal icing that I used to cover the door, and I'm using it to pipe a bead border around the windows. I'm using white stiff consistency icing and a star tip 16 to pipe a shell border around the door. Hold the pieces in place for 15 to 30 seconds to make sure that they stick. And then cover the edges of the house with some seaweed. To do this, you'll just move your tip up and down to create this wavy leaf design. And then you can put one of your shells above the door and use that teal icing to attach the roof. And hold those pieces in place for about 15 to 30 seconds to make sure it all sticks together. Pipe some seaweed along the front edge of the roof, and you can also pipe some along the top edge where the two roof pieces come together. Here's where we can use those coral pieces. Just pipe a little bit of stiff icing to hold them in place, and then put them wherever you like. You can also add some of the shells. And even if some of your coral breaks when you remove it from the wax paper, you can still use those smaller pieces to decorate the cake board. I also wanted to add some sand, so I'm using flood consistency icing and just spreading that out with my tapered spatula. And now I'm covering it with cookie crumbs that are mixed with broken royal icing pieces and some sanding sugar. And here is the finished mermaid gingerbread house. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you next time.